So what I'm trying to show you is that when you are processing, when you are thinking of these things, when you are trying to understand the project, you've got to iterate lots of stuff, drawings, sketches. I don't care if you're doing it in Photoshop or you're laying out things in primitives in Maya, or if you're good at sketching in a sketchbook or whatever. You've got to produce lots of stuff. So another example is, like you're telling a story, or we're doing a scene by scene or a shot by shot kind of thing. You can lay things out. Like for instance, I like to, these are basically storyboard charts, and through this I can kind of get a feeling of my composition. They're not necessarily always going to be great, but I can kind of picture how things are going to fit within the frame. For instance, like this is a shot of feet playing drums and hi-hat, and I can kind of just see how I want to frame it in. And sometimes that is very, very, very helpful. I might want to do several variations of something like that. Shots, like that are important. And that gives me, so for instance, another example of how when a character is doing something, it's going to be doing it in different points of view, right side, left side, up, down, high, low, and just trying to visualize it in my head before I go out there and put all the work in to make something look good. I can kind of just rough it out, different examples of this. And these are all legitimate concepts, legitimate ideas, of how I want something to look or feel, or a model of what I want to use. Again, a sketch like this of a character playing drums, and then another one of him lifting his arm up. Let's see. Same kind of thing, just him lifting up his arm. So you get this. He's playing the drums here. And so I can kind of see how it's going to lay out, the way things are going to be in position. So I've got those kind of things. Another thing to consider is variations when you're doing something. Don't do everything exactly the same. I've got a lot of just really bad, I don't really care if they're bad, but they're just really quick. I was trying to come up with a cat design, so I sketched out a lot of different things. They weren't all that amazing, but I circled one that I thought was kind of interesting. And there's there's 20 different ideas there, some being more realistic, some being more minimalistic. And from there I get an idea. Oh, I like the curvature of the nose. Oh, I liked the way I did the eyes. Or I love the fact that it's kind of flat and weird looking. Different variations taking the same kind of idea. Are they all good? No. Do they all work? No. Is there anything there to save that might be good? Maybe one. Maybe this one here is the one I want. And I might find something on that page, or the client might find something on that page that I work with. So that's what I ended up taking. So I took those ideas and I had a whole bunch of variations, but I refined it down. And there's something about this one that I really like. I like the curvature of the head and the eyes and that sort of stuff. Same thing for those mouse drawings. Trying to find a mouse. Just started with a line. I like that curve of that line, and then how do I build off of that? And how do I make it with one stroke? So I started trying to draw the mouse with one stroke, where I don't even lift the pencil off the page to be really fast. And just experiment and explore different ideas. What could I do with it? What's its head shape and relationship? What kind of expressions can I get out of it? And, here's more of a minimalistic look of it. And this kind of harkens back to different styles and things that I might want to do. Do they work? No, but I might get one. Maybe I really like the way that pose looks on this one here. Right there. So the idea is I'm exploring, I'm processing this information. And I can quickly get 50 or 100 drawings that can pile up really quickly. And that might take me an hour or half an hour or something like that, but I have something to work with. Same for color studies, same for layouts that are backgrounds. All right, so like once I kind of understand, I think I understand, I'm going to be looking at my references, I'm going to be looking at the footage, and then I'm going to try to see what comes out. Say, okay, I kind of think I know. Now I'm going to start drawing or setting things up and to see what is good. I'm going to fill the page or page after page after page with stuff that I think will be good. Like in the pajama game stuff is the light fixtures and the pipes. What would those look like? Go back and look at my reference footage and try to pick out core things from it that I think might work according to what I believe the client is looking for. And then just kind of see what happens. After I draw the light fixture a certain way, I might end up changing it, and then I change it again, and I try this and change proportions. And the next thing I know, I've got 10 variations on that one particular thing. And I'm not going to decide which one's good, which one's bad. They're just going to exist. And as I show kind of my process, the client might say, you know what, I really like that. Or maybe be like, you know what, none of these are working for me, but I like this thing here of something else you did, or whatever. The odds are something might be going that he'll say, okay, I like this idea, now develop it further, do less of this and more of that, and then see what happens. And the stuff that doesn't matter, we'll forget about it. It's not a spectacle, it's not an event. It's just focus on what you want and move on. Okay. So to be clear about this, when you come to class, I don't want to hear excuses. I want you to be prepared. I want your content, your whatever it is that you're using to be accessible, meaning you've put it up on the cloud. It can't be lost. It can't crash. It isn't in the other book bag. You didn't leave it in the car. It's on the cloud. When you come to class, it's there. It needs to have enough content that I know and everyone else that looks at it knows that you've been working on something. Shows that you have a common or a basic or a better than basic understanding of the project, and that you have been thinking about it. If you don't understand what you're doing, you can't say, well, I just didn't know what to do, so therefore I spent a whole week doing absolutely nothing. That doesn't cut it. That is absolutely unacceptable. If you don't know if you don't, by the end of class and by the end of the meeting with the client, if you don't know what they want, then you need to talk with them again. You need to talk with me. You can't go a day without knowing what you're supposed to be doing, let alone 7 or 5 or 3. That time is precious. You don't get it back. And when you come to class, you need to be ready to show your work. I didn't know what to do. I forgot. Those are all immature kinds of things that won't be tolerated. It's not acceptable, and you will fail. You come to class not prepared, you fail for the day. It's really pretty simple. This is not like any other class. You perform, you do what's expected of you, you come prepared, you show every single time that you have a knowledge base, you have an understanding, that you've been thinking, working, and producing things producing something. Okay? I hope that's clear because that is what I expect. You're not working in class. You're not coming to class to do your work. You're coming to class to show your work. I don't want to see you working. I want to see you showing me what you've done. I want you meeting with clients one by one by one. The classroom needs to be orderly. It needs to be a space for people to present clearly without a whole bunch of other people talking while you're trying to meet with the client. You're either going to present to the group or perhaps individually. It depends on what type of time frame we have. And so that's how and what I expect. It should be clear. I hope you understand it because that's what I expect every single time we come to class. Maybe not a presentation every time, but significant work and the ability to show me that you are making progress, significant progress on that project. All right, I will see you in class. Have fun with the process and enjoy it.